I'm Johan Rashi Vega here in our sound room in Holyoke Media at One Court Plaza in Holyoke, Massachusetts. And I want to welcome one of our local artists, one of three local artists who is part of the second round of murals created by Beyond Walls in this Street Tour 2023 in Holyoke. And what a amazing opportunity to get to talk to you, Natasha Colón, artist, local artist, and educator here in the city of Holyoke. Natasha, welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Johan. Once again, soy Natasha Colón-Ortíz. I'm Natasha Colón-Ortíz. I'm a local artist, also a business owner here in Holyoke. I have Paper City Art Kids. I have a multi-art service business where I come to the community and I teach lots of art, multicultural art, and I'm an artist myself, freelance artist. So yeah, I'm really excited to have had the opportunity to be one of the local artists to create a piece here in Holyoke.
When you saw through this past year and a half, because it's been not only Beyond Walls, also the project of El Corazón of Holyoke, how all of a sudden public art has been filling spaces in our city, making walls of buildings that otherwise look in a really sad condition come back to life, at least to show and display colors and images that represent the culture and, yes, the diversity in our city. So how did you felt seeing that happening, and how all of these interactions led for you to now being part of the second round of murals with Beyond Walls?
So I started off with my father sending me an awesome link on Facebook and was like, listen, they are coming here in Nueva Esperanza, El Corazón. They're bringing Beyond the Walls to Holyoke and they're going to create murals. You're my daughter, you're an artist, you're going to apply. And I was like, yes, Dad. So I applied immediately. Unfortunately, there was a lot of things going on and I wasn't able to be part of the first round of muralist. But I stuck with them, went to a lot of their events, met a lot of them, met Al, met Charlotte, and then met the artists as well, like Don Rimx last year, and that was amazing. And I just stuck with it and I kept communicating with them. I saw what they were bringing to Holyoke and I saw a lot of my culture, a lot of Taino, a lot of Puerto Rican art, a lot of just bomba, like the music was coming out in the wall through these images and the colors. And I was like, yeah, I'm totally going to be a part of it. And I made sure that I kept looking at the website and I was like, it's going to happen. And here I am today, finished my 4 little mural piece on South Summer Street, representing my culture, Puerto Rican, my roots, and bringing it to the community. I wanted to give that to our people, to the Puerto Ricans here, our community. We are the majorities, and I feel like that is necessary. But also, I want to teach our roots. So with the flamboyant, the indigenous tree of Puerto Rico, beautiful, vibrant red, vermilion, just beautiful, and a little bit of orange and yellow and green. The beautiful flor, la flor maga, the hibiscus flower from Puerto Rico, our indigenous frog, el coqui, and of course I had to bring in a little bit of our Taino roots with our petroglyphs, which are rock carvings, and I brought Atabe, the semi, which we now call goddess. That is incorrect, but it is understood as a goddess of fertility of the land, but also fertility of female. And I wanted to bring her. I wanted to have her inspire our people.
It is so, just listening to you, and especially when you refer to the proper name of well, now what is understood as a goddess, but properly called as a me, as the spirits, the different spirits
Yes.
that protect and are part of the ancestry of the Taino culture, of the indigenous people of Puerto Rico. And I remember seeing those petroglyphs in Utuado,
Yes.
which is one of the very few spaces that somehow still remains, because latest events of the hurricanes made major damage to those areas. But
Right.
I remember seeing that, and how time has been captured and alive in those stones and in that whole ceremonial space. So when I saw the image of Atabey in your last window, it gave me that same feeling of being back in that space, because I immediately saw that connection. Making sure that the presence of one of the many semis is here in South Holyoke, with the colors that actually match the season of the year, where the flamboyantes are everywhere, blossoming and making an amazing landscape, even in the metro area of San Juan.
Yeah.
Where you can see lots of red everywhere.
Popping up. Everywhere you see it, just popping up, just vibrant. It's beautiful. It's captivating. I don't know anyone who would be able to pass such a beautiful tree and not stop and look at it and admire it. Yeah, I am an extremely big naturalist. When I moved here from Puerto Rico when I was 5 years old, I fell in love with where we moved. We moved on Route 5, right by Mount Tom, right in front of the Connecticut River, right in front of the train tracks. The foliage reminded me of the flamboyant, how beautiful and vibrant it is. It's like marrying both of them. My beautiful island, Puerto Rico, and its beautiful tree, indigenous tree, flamboyant, and the beautiful foliage of Western Massachusetts. And right in front of Route 5 in Holyoke, close to like the dinosaur tracks, I was like, you can't beat this. It's beautiful. And I it's like a marriage for me. That tree just marries both of my journey here and my life here, and how my roots from Puerto Rico, and how that is always with me no matter what. It definitely is. It's powerful.
So what are you working on?
I am working on a flamboyant, giving it kind of like a cherry blossom feel with some hibiscus flowers, flowers de Maya, kind of flowing all the way to the end with a little coquille on one of them. And then at the very end we have Atabey, the goddess of fertility, holding up the Borinquen sign. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a cultural, like nature scene type thing, representing my culture. Yeah. So I'm just gonna be blocking out some color right now, and then just to kind of give me a little bit of a feel. Did my design with white, and now just doing some color blocking.
Nice.
Yes. Beyond the Walls asked me to do a little small mural, and I was like, yeah, sure. What should I do? And my parents' living room is kind of like a little gallery of my artwork, and they've seen it since coming to the house once in a while, and decided that that would be a really cool scene to be right next to Don Rimx's mural piece. So right now, that's what I'm working on. I got these 4 windows. I'm very excited to be working with Beyond the Walls. As a local artist here in Holyoke, I think it was really good to have at least one artist be able to express themselves in the city and express their culture and give that vibrancy to the community for sure.
And your piece, particularly being a connection, a window looking back to Puerto Rico, is located next to one of the largest murals of the second round, which is the collaboration between Don Rimx and David Zayas.
Yeah.
Colorful, abstract, and loaded with representation as well, and so many aspects of the popular culture, not only from Puerto Rico, but the whole Caribbean.
Yes.
So what represents for you being next to such massive mural?
First thing, I'm honored. I had the opportunity to meet Don Rimx and David Zayas and have a conversation with them as artists, and that is really the biggest honor, to be able to be right next to him and marry our colors. How both of our pieces are extremely vibrant. They are of our culture, Puerto Rican. We are bringing that to Holyoke, to the people that come from Puerto Rico here to Holyoke, and some that have family that raised them here, right? So like, I feel like that is just amazing. It's such a great connection and a marriage between the both pieces that are right next to one another.
As someone who plays different roles, not only as an artist, but also as an educator, and also as someone who cares for the growth of our community in different aspects, how do you see having murals like this, having interactions from artists from different places around the world to come here and do this work and engage with the community during this process? What it represents for you as an artist, as a resident of the city of Holyoke, as a Puerto Rican, part of the diaspora here in Western Mass, to see all this work happening?
Growth. I feel the growth. I see the growth. I admire the growth of everybody learning and asking questions. And most importantly, taking in street art and respecting it. As an artist, it is sometimes you are put in a difficult position where you're displaying this art is street art. Many people see it. And sometimes you are unsure of yourself. So now growing in that growth and seeing so much street art and being more involved in the street art and knowing my community, being involved with the youth and the community, I feel like it's so much growth and positive growth. Conversations that the art brings up in the community. That is important. We need to talk about it. That is the point of street art, is for everybody to look at it and it strikes a conversation. Yeah.
Another aspect that I want for you to explain more is your choice on having the word Boriquen on top of Atabe in your last window, because that is another way to make that clear message of representation of Puerto Rico, but from its natural and original name, from its ancestors, from the indigenous people of the island.
So Borinquen is the land of the Valard people, and it is the rich land full of resources, natural beauty. Borinquen is that. That is what Borinquen is. It is our island full of natural beauty, full of resources, and full of its culture and its people full of valor. We rise up no matter what. I don't know if you notice, but Atabe begins with her arms as barriles for our beautiful music of bomba, right? Bomba is a social justice piece. It's music, it's lyrics that go with art. There's so much involved with it. So there she is holding up the barriles. Then it comes to the sun, the rays of the sun, our beautiful sun. And she is raising our island up. If you see the palmas, they are up on her hands. She is raising up our island. You said the word huracan earlier. Huracan is a Taino word. that is from our language. Okay? She is constantly rising us up no matter what we go through. There she is, our island of Borinquen, rising up our people, no matter what, with strong roots of culture. That is why I represented the last one, the word Atabe, with Borinquen, with that word, with our roots of our island, of our people, of our culture.
What it would be for you, maybe some wish of people getting as a message or a feeling when they see your work in this piece that you created?
For me, art brings a lot of love, a lot of fulfillment. What I want it to bring to others when they see my piece is just peace. It's peace. I want a conversation stricken about our island. I want questions being asked. I want people to ask, what is Borinquen? I want them to ask, what is that? What is that frog? Why is the coquí so important? Beautiful song. We're used to it. Some people are not, but I think it is the most beautiful frog, and it's super invasive. It is extremely loud, and it's constant. But that's our coquí. That's part of us. We are used. I could not sleep for a while unless I heard it. When I would go back, I'm like, oh my God, I'm hearing this frog again, and it's peaceful. The flamboyant, I just want people to know that it is an indigenous tree to Puerto Rico. If they don't know that, ask, why is it orange? Why is it red? Why is it kind of yellow? What does it have flowers? Does it not have flowers? You know, I want questions. I want people to know about our culture more. I want that for everybody when they see my piece.
Aside of this work that you are now concluding for this cycle with Beyond Walls, what else is in your plans? Because you have your business and you have been active for a number of years now.
Yeah.
So what is going on in that aspect, and also as your work as an artist?
So I am going to be taking a step back this summer, personally for myself, to kind of undo a process that has been happening for a while. As an educator, as a business owner, as a painter, I had to learn how to create pieces like this and how to teach them like this in a time frame. And my art has kind of been sped up. I really want to take a step back and focus on my culture again, on my whimsical naturalist art, but really take my time, go back to some of the fine art details that I know, that I learned in college and in high school, and growing up here in Holyoke and attending some of the schools that are no longer in existence, like Magnet Middle School of the Arts, and really being at peace while I create this, really enjoying the process. I still plan on giving the services that I provide with my business, pop-up paint parties. I would love to do more community paint parties for murals. I would love to work on a community mural type institute for the youth specifically, so that they can work in the community. I am still going to be an educator and going into the schools and teaching multicultural art enrichments. That focus really on the Caribbean art and Caribbean culture. And the ultimate goal is to have a studio space with some sort of a storefront that I can have students come in, have their space, create art. I can do classes, parties in that location, while I also create my own art, and I don't have to bombard my space and my parents' space with all this beautiful art that I create. And lastly, still being a vendor, a freelance artist that takes commission pieces, and really art is my passion, art is my job, and I love it. This is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life, and I plan on it. It's just gonna keep growing.
It's so beautiful to see how through all this year you have, as you mentioned, you have been passionate about creating art, and despite the challenges, you are always showing the joy of what you do.
Yeah.
Not only through your work, but also through the process. And every time I see you, you are smiling, which is reflection of that passion and that energy that you're trying to capture it and to bring with you. So even if it is under not so good circumstances, but you are finding that beauty into it, so it can be changed on something that could create that piece you are mentioning.
Yeah, and definitely also be able to, in that process of really learning and growing myself, bringing in the community, bringing in the youth. The youth is super important to me. The school system is very important to me. I feel like the school system doesn't have as much of an artistic, room for these students to express themselves. I feel as a previous athlete for the majority of my life that you have sports or nothing now in school. And there has to be another way that these students, these kids, the youth can express themselves. They see it now in the streets where they live, and then they see a local artist. What else? I saw a student that literally just went like, "That's Coach Tosh. She's painting." Like, yeah, come. It's gonna be done on such and such day. Come down and check it out. And that's really cool to see. The youth tying all this other aspects that I try to bring forward to them and make important to them and try to humble them. Like, this is not as important as you think. But art, being able to express yourself, being unique, being yourself is way more important. And I'm trying to do that myself and show them that. But yeah, the youth arts, that's my passion. That's what I'm going to continue to bring forward everywhere I go.
Well, Natasha, I hope that this experience creating this mural, especially having the interactions with the artist and all the energy that has been around for these past weeks, gives you that needed energy to refocus what is going to be the next step in your career, so you can continue and re-emerge from it in a new phase of your work. And so glad to see how you have been constant and growing and evolving through these years, especially when it comes about education and about making art something that is important to bring joy to our people, bring joy to the city, and also I would even call it as a really needed quality of life resource that sometimes we forget how much we need, not only to appreciate art or have it accessible, but also feel that you also can create it. So thank you for all that work, and what an honor having you here.
Thank you. It's an honor being here and having another interview with you again, and like really talking about my art, my business, my passion, and what I bring forward to our community, the youth, and the city of Holyoke.
Well, this is our conversation with Natasha Colón-Ortíz, and she's our local artist, one of 3 local artists for this second round of murals with Beyond Walls, and we will continue showing more of the work now that your piece is completed, so that way we have a snippet of what it was at the very beginning.
Yes.
Now we can see the before and after, which is always a really good experience to see how one space that seemed to be a forgotten corner in the end of South Summer Street now is vibrant with color.
Exactly. Yes, most definitely. Can't wait.
Thank you so much, Natasha.
Thank you.